Hi everyone, you're welcome back to Football Top 5. And today I'm going to be giving you my top 5 best strikers in Europe this season. Now, this is not the top 5 best strikers in the world as per who are the best strikers, who is the player you want in your team, but this is based on this season alone. You understand? So this is the best top 5 best strikers based on performances this season. And achievement is important for every striker. Strikers are the backbone of every team these days. So your achievements, but it's not going to be solely based on achievement. It's going to be by all-round performance because there are some players that in this list that maybe didn't achieve much, but actually proved themselves. You understand? So let's get into the list. My fifth best striker in Europe this season. Like I said, it's not just top 5 leagues. I'm not doing top 5 stuffs. I'm doing best strikers in Europe, right? So in fifth place, I have Robert Lewandowski. Robert Lewandowski of FC Barcelona and Poland. He has been fantastic this season. Mind you, if you make it to the top 5, that means you have had a great season, right? So it's not disrespect to anyone. So I think the other four edges Robert Lewandowski a little bit for me in terms of their performance in this season. So Lewandowski has 40 goals and 3 assists in 50 games, which is not bad at all, which is actually fantastic. That is 43 goal involvement in 50 games. At his age, it still surprises me how players of these days get better even with age. That's really really fantastic. So he's been very very instrumental for Barcelona this season, and Barcelona has been on top of their game. They were unlucky to be knocked out in the Champions League by Inter Milan. That's very very obvious. And I think if Lewandowski was fit in both legs, I don't think Barcelona would have been knocked out in the Champions League. But that's by the way. So Lewandowski is my fifth best strikers in Europe this season. He has already won. He has already won the La Liga. They just won the La Liga. I just finished watching the match a few minutes ago. That's as at the time I'm recording this video. So shout out to Robert Lewandowski. When he came to Barcelona, I thought it was just going to be 1 or 2 seasons, and then he drops off. But scoring 4 goals in a season, like it's mad numbers. You get me? And funny enough, there's no Premier League player in this team. Let me just make it clear. There's no Premier League player in this list, right? Which is very very poor. But that's by the way. In fourth place, I have another La Liga player, Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe having also scored 40 goals in all competition, scoring 28 goals in La Liga. Is currently 3 goals above Robert Lewandowski in La Liga, having 4 assists in 51 games. It's almost like Kylian Mbappe and Lewandowski is just like matching themselves when it comes to goal contributions. But this is not just about goal contribution. I think Mbappe is a fantastic player. Apart from the goals he contributes, you see him drop deep into midfield. You see him go wide, go left. He's a fantastic player. And considering the fact that Real Madrid has had a very, very poor season, and to come up with these great numbers, I think is fantastic. He has just broken the record of most goals scored by debutants in Real Madrid. And it's just 1 goal left to break the highest goal scored by a debutant in La Liga by Ronaldo, the great Ronaldo Nazario. So I think Mbappe is having a fantastic season. The only reason why he's not high up in this list is because he hasn't really achieved much. Although he won the UEFA Super Cup and the Intercontinental Cup, it's a major trophy, but it's not really highly revered like the other ones. So, but I think Mbappe has been fantastic, and also I like it's not about who scored the most goals here. It's about the number of games you've played, the impact you have in your team, the success you had with your team. So, someone would say Robert Lewandowski won the La Liga, but Mbappe didn't win the La Liga and didn't win the Champions League. Yes, but Mbappe is the current top scorer in La Liga, and you cannot be better than someone that is the current top scorer in your league. The league is a different level of football. That's why players win the Europa Golden Boot with league goals. You understand? There's a reason why they do that. So Kylian Mbappe is my fourth best striker in Europe this season. Moving on to number 3 in my list. The third best striker in Europe, in my opinion, is Harry Kane. Harry Kane has proven to be a fantastic striker. Again, he's continued to prove it. He's been a phenomenal striker over the years. He was very, very lucky that he spent most of his career in Tottenham Hotspur, who is not a big club in my opinion. But right now he's in Bayern Munich and he's just won his first ever trophy. So scoring 37 goals, providing 9 assists in 45 games. That's 45 goal involvement in 45 games, which is really impressive for a player of his age. I think it's about 33 or 32 years old, right? Winning the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich after the fair shot last season to Bayer Leverkusen. And I think Robert Lewandowski, I mean, Harry Kane has been fantastic again this season. So shout out to him. In second place, I have Victor Osimhen. Now, a lot of people are going to say I'm being biased because, of course, I'm a Nigerian. But I don't think I'm being biased. I'm going to explain why. Victor Osimhen joined Galatasaray on the 7th of September. That was when the league has already started. A few games have been played. I can't remember the amount of games, but a few games have been played already in the league. And he's the current top scorer in the league with 23 goals in the league, I think. They just won the Turkish Cup and they're on the verge of winning the Turkish league, which is something, because if you are the main man of a team and you are driving your team to success, that says a lot about you as a striker. And the kind of goals that Osimhen scores, like it's not everybody in this list that has the catalog of goals that Osimhen scores. Scoring 35 goals in and 7 assists in 39 games. That's 42 goal involvement in 39 games. That makes him has more goal involvement in than games actually played. So if you put all that into consideration, you see that he's actually had a better season than the likes of Harry Kane, Mbappe, and Robert Lewandowski. He's on the verge of winning the Turkish league, which like he just the next game whatever is going to happen, they are going to win the Turkish league. They've already won the Turkish Cup, which is two trophies. And like they say, you can only beat what is in front of you, right? So Osimhen has proven himself to be a fantastic striker, and I can tell you for a fact I'm not being biased. I think he's the second best striker in the world this season. Because when we talk Europe, is basically we are talking the world because that's where the big boys plays. So moving on to first place, I think most of you must have guessed it, even though many of you might not agree because you say he's playing in a lower league, stuff like that. But he's also playing in the Champions League. I don't believe that any player that is playing in the Champions League is playing like he's not being, you understand. I don't know how to put it, but I think Portuguese league is very competitive league. Although strikers tend to flourish a lot in Portuguese league, but he's currently leading European boot race with 47 points, with the likes of Salah and Mbappe on 46 points. And you have to score extra amount of goals because you are playing in the Portuguese league to be able to be there. So he has scored 46 goals, provided 9 assists in 49 games. That's mad. That's 55 goal involvement in 49 games. I think he's been fantastic. Although he hasn't won anything at the time of recording this video, but he's on the verge of winning the Portuguese league. Although it's very, very tight between between Sporting and Benfica. He's also in the final of the Portuguese League Cup, which means there's a possibility for him to win both or win at least one of them. So I think he's been the best striker in Europe this season. Because for you to be leading the race for the Golden Boot, playing in Sporting, it's a big ask. If you know, you understand. Because it's not the same way they calculate the big leagues that they have to calculate your goals. So I think I've not even mentioned his name, man. I forgot. I've not even mentioned his name. I'm talking about Victor Gyökeres. I think he's the best striker in Europe right now. So tell me what you think about my team. What are you going to change? Who didn't make my list? Who did you think would have made this list that didn't make it? And if the list has your five best strikers, would you have adjusted the list? Let me know in the comment section and share this video. Thank you very much.